In this video, we'll show you how to install the Door Strap Pro for both the Transit and ProMaster. First, we'll start with the Transit. For the ProMaster, skip to the ProMaster section. Inspect the door and pillar for prior damage. Next, inspect the factory door check arm for damage. Replace if necessary. Then, remove the driver door trim panel, including 7 screws total. Pull out from the bottom and lift up. Remove the cable from behind the door handle. Next, unplug the 3 wiring harnesses, electrical connectors from the trim panel. Then, remove the 10mm bolt from the check arm on the pillar. Place the pillar bracket behind factory check arm bracket and re-bolt. Mark the 2 inside holes for pillar bracket. Next, remove the pillar bracket. Then use an 1/8" drill bit to pilot 2 holes on the pillar. Use a drill with a 23/64" drill bit to drill out the piloted holes. Then place blind nut in hole with blind nut tool attached. Place the 7/16" socket and tighten center bolt while holding blind nut tool with a 9/16 wrench until blind nut is drawn tight. Do not over-tighten, but tighten enough to prevent rotation of blind nut in pillar. Repeat this procedure for remaining blind nut installations. Next, place pillar bracket back behind the factory check arm. Then, use the factory 10mm bolt with thread locker and 2 supplied bolts to attach bracket to pillar. Remove the small inside water deflector from the door. Next, use the supplied template, placing it on the door and mark the hole locations. Then, pilot drill the 4 holes with an 1/8" drill bit, followed by a 23/64" drill bit. Install the 2 forwardmost blind nuts included in the hardware kit. These are the 2 holes closest to dashboard. Next, install the door bracket using the supplied bolts, washers, and nuts. Then, reinstall the small inside water deflector. Trial fit the door panel to mark locations for the bracket strap cutout. Next, trim door panel 3/4 inch back with cutoff wheel. Then install the door strap with supplied bolts, lock nuts, and thread covers. Finally, after reconnecting electrical plugs and door handle cable, install the trim panel, and now the installation is complete. Now we will move on to the installation of the Door Strap Pro on the ProMaster. Inspect the door and pillar for prior damage. Next, inspect the factory door check arm for damage. Replace if necessary. Then remove the 3 pillar mounted screws that retain sill trim. Set back the body-mounted weather stripping. Next, release the 3 harness loom retainers and set back the wiring harness. Then, carefully remove the top harness retainer and discard. Fold over metal top tab on the pillar, using care not to damage the harness. Next, locate the bracket mount area on the pillar and floor. Remove necessary pillar caulking so the bracket fits flat and snug to the pillar and floor. Then, place pillar bracket in correct location. Use a marker to locate and outline bracket perimeter, using care while cutting floor mat for bracket placement. After removing floor cutout, place bracket in position and mark hole locations. Using an 1/8" drill bit, pilot drill all 4 holes on the floor. Use a 3/8" drill bit to drill the 4 piloted holes on the floor. Next, use touch-up paint or corrosion protection to cover any exposed bare metal. Install pillar bracket to floor using supplied hardware, making sure to install strap to pillar bracket prior to securing bracket to floor, as once installed strap bolt will be inaccessible. Remove driver's door speaker grill, followed by speaker. Use the supplied template, placing it on the door, and mark the hole locations. Pilot drill the 4 holes with an 1/8" drill bit. Drill the 4 piloted holes with a 5/16" drill bit. Then install the door bracket using the supplied bolts, nuts, and washers. Next, reinstall the speaker and speaker grill. Mark the sill trim for modification. Cut the sill trim as necessary for fit. Discard the top screw as its position has been eliminated. Then reattach the wiring harness to the pillar using the remaining factory harness loom retainers. Also reinstalling weather strip. Install sill trim on the pillar using the remaining 2 factory screws. Finally, install the strap to the door side bracket. Install thread covers provided in kit. Your installation of the Door Strap Pro on the ProMaster is now complete.